All right, I am live. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, that was the power from my computer. Hi, Toby. Come in to say hi. All right, let's push this string out of the way. Hello, can you guys hear me? Is there anyone here? I am not seeing anybody in the chat, but that's okay. It says I'm live, so at least there is that. And I'm on the correct everything. Okay, so it is working. The 45th clown is here saying hello. Hello, hello. I have a Bruno here going to say hi. And I have a Toby at my feet, and this is Spooky right here being a little shadow monster. So I had plans for today that aren't happening. So a little bit of story time. I'm just going to push that right out of the frame so you guys can't see it, but I can see you guys. So I had plans on doing an alteration and having you guys come with me walking through it. But my sewing machine is on the other side of Sacramento at the moment, and I didn't realize that till like right before the stream when I went to go grab it and realized I didn't have it. Shh, I'm just live. I don't have my phone going off. Shh, it's a secret. But I broke. So I will tell you the story of that alteration, but that's going to happen tomorrow. I do have something that we are going to do today, but since I have no sewing machine, I'm not going to do it all by hand, and a sewing machine would make the job significantly better and easier. So a friend of mine has a wedding coming up for a cousin, and they have to wear a bridesmaid's dress, and a bridesmaid's dress that they had altered, but it's too tight and too loose in all the wrong ways. You know, it just is not fitting right, and so they asked me for help. And yeah, it needs a little bit of some smooshing and TLC. And I was gonna talk you guys through what happened, what it looked like before the alteration, the initial alteration, what I plan on doing with the alteration, and the whys and whatnots of just kind of adjusting things so that they look best on you. But we'll do that tomorrow when I have my sewing machine, because I will 100% sure we'll have it tomorrow. But right now, I figured I would talk about my creepy Krusty Clown doll, because I was going to do this as a video, but I more did it as a challenge. I'm making a Christmas present. I don't want it to suck, but I'm also not going to leave the house. What could I make and come up with, you know? It wasn't laziness, because I had a few days and I was tempted a few times to go to the store, but like I was so stubborn of it's a challenge. I can't leave the house. What do I have? What do I need? Um, so I kind of wanted to walk you through this this creation. So I have the box. I made the box. I made the box out of the cardboard that I get from Costco that they put between the paper towel rolls. It's a good thin cardboard. Anyways, it folds up really nicely, and I made this part of the box with that. And this part of the box is a 12-pack of soup, I think, or cans. I don't know. It was a box in the recycling bin, and I was like, hey, that looks just about the right size for my project. I was going to paint the box. I was going to color the box. I was going to use green cardboard, but again, the challenge was not to leave my house. So I ended up using green screen fabric that I had from a project. It was from a biblical mask wrestling stop motion student film project that this green screen was left over. Fun. Um, the letters for the Krusty doll, those are my dress forms. Leftover fabric from that. The word talking is, oh, Spooky. Are you? Hi, Spooky, come here. Nope, you are not. I'm sorry. I did not mean to accuse you. But where did I put it then? Anyways, I have a nail polish that's called Bifolucia, and it makes me laugh. Okay, my computer's going to die if I don't plug it in. Sorry, Bruno. Sorry, everybody. Oh, there's my nail polish. But let me plug in my computer, or this stream is going to end really quickly. Ah, much better. Okay, much better. I now have power. But yes, it's this great color called Bifolucia, and I laugh because it reminds me of like nicknames my brothers would call me. They just tease me. Anything that started with an F or an E. Fajita, Felicia, Ish, you know. So I thought that was a funny name, and I ended up using that for the small words. I went with hand cut letters. I just drew them out and hand cut them myself because it's animation. And I feel, oh, sound issues? Are there sound issues? Okay. Hello, Bernie Davis. Hello, Dan Does Junk. Okay. So Dan Does Junk says all good on his end. Okay, so I hope you figure out the sound. Let me know if it's me. I'm still figuring out all of this. But bye, Lucia. Bernie Davis cardstock comes in real handy for patterns. Yes, no, I absolutely love the cardstock. I have been using it like crazy as all sorts of project things. So this clear plastic is leftover clear plastic from some packaging. I have that. Actually, I do know what it's from. It's from the backing of a clear plastic peel and stick tiles that I was playing with, and it had a big giant piece of clear plastic that worked for this. Oh, and then this red is leftover from a crazy project that it was supposed to be Ura's Star Trek dress, the red one, but that fabric ended up being pulled into two different projects. So the Ura was kind of sidestepped, but I did end up really liking those projects. But that's all the stuff just on the outside of the box from not leaving my house. To start figuring out how I was even going to make a Krusty doll, I followed one of those tutorials on how to draw your own Krusty doll. It's not the best. It's not the best by any means, but I was trying to get the idea of how big and what kind of shape and size of pattern I needed. And I put an American Girl doll on the table for kind of a size comparison, and also a Barbie, and I figured it would be something kind of in between. And yeah, this lovely, terrible, horrible painting that I absolutely love haunts the inside of one of my cabinets now. But yeah, that kind of got me kind of where to start. I just took like the very first YouTube tutorial on how to draw the Krusty Clown doll. And started from there. So then when I actually got into patterning, it ended up getting a lot smaller than I expected, but I'm really happy with the size and the scale of everything because the size wasn't going to be perfect, but I want to keep everything within scale because as I started to blow everything up, the scale kind of changed depending on what I was using. So I stuck this voodoo doll in here just because I thought this would be hilarious. But his expression just has that I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me vibes from Krusty the Clown, you know, like he's scared. But so the polar fleece was from a giant Muppet dinner jacket that I made. I love the weirdness of where all these fabrics and materials were sourced from. His body is solid yellow, like he could take off of his shirt. The shirt is a separate piece. The pants are stitched in place, but they can technically be taken down, and his legs are stuffed with bone noodles, but are also covered in the polar fleece, so the texture goes all the way to the feet. The feet, however, are floor mat foam cut into the. I feel like I could have gone a little more ridiculous in the size of the feet, like maybe a half an inch longer, but I tried to keep it in with a good scale of everything. And I think overall, the feet size in comparison aren't that bad. But yeah, the little ruffles around his ankles are not, the pants aren't practical. He has no actual feet. They're just, these are just stitched down in between, attaching its feet to his legs. So it's a little cheating, but I thought it worked out great. The pants, if you look at his lovely pants. Hi, everybody. That is a bright light. I should turn it down, but he looks nice and creepy on camera. His pants are the linings of a pair of the pocket linings of a pair of shorts that I have. So I took I sacrificed the pocket so he could have pants. This gold cording is from Bruno. What are you eating? Bruno. I hear him munching on something that he shouldn't be munching on. Oh, well. Is from a box of, you know, at the thrift store when you can get a whole bag of knickknacks and you really only want one thing in there, but it's like a whole bag of knickknacks for like whatever price. Well, anyways, I have a bunch of this weird gold cord from that knickknack bag. And these binder rings, I use them on projects all the time. So I just bought a box of them and I happen to have a bunch. And I was like, oh, this is perfect for his pull cord. I did want his pull cord to work, but that wasn't going to happen without leaving the house. So I just attached it to the side because I was trying to figure out where the cord was attached. But when they lift up the back, you see the switch and you don't see where the cord is attached. So I assumed it was from the side and attached his from the side. So let me see. Danda's Jug, you did a great job with it. Thank you. And Bernie Davis, if you made the feet bigger, you'd be in the Sideshow Bob territory. Yes, that's why I was a little, but it is what it is. And then he has an evil switch, and there is a war in the house currently of between whether he is good or evil. So it's been going back and forth. Can't guarantee it's going to stay either way, but I like that it has the switch, and I did the let the light attach. The stitching like really like a child did it. I don't know. It just felt right, like because it was just drawn in there. I don't know. So that was made out of foam and cardboard stitched in underneath the polar fleece so that it has room to move up and down. Bernie Davis, different episodes have the pull string in different places. I know, depending on the shot, it's always in different spots. So I just, when they showed the back, it wasn't coming out of the back, and I wasn't going to put it coming out of his butt, and it's not his belly button. So I ended up with the side, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now, my question is, what color is his shirt? He's a cartoon, and the official licensed Krusty doll, not my rag doll version of Krusty doll, has more of this color shirt, and I gave him kind of a more of a ballet pink shirt. I know that not everybody can tell the difference between purple and pink, and shades can be a little tricky, but I swore his shirt was this color. But when I saw the official branded stuff, it's all this color, but I do see things with him in the pink. So I feel like it's also one of those different episodes have different, hi Bruno, different colors, or depending on the scene, or, the shadowing or the shading. But yeah, his shirt is made out of a sweatshirt sleeve, and you can see that, I'll go really close up to him. His polo has the ribbing, because I used the rib from the sleeve of the sweatshirt to make his collar, but I just used the sweatshirt fabric for his sleeves and his shirt, and I really think it made a really nice polo look. His bow tie is from some swag. It was an old, it was from last year's state fair, like one of those bandanas from it. So I was like, hey, look it, this is actually going to get used. And I cut it up and I made a little bow. His nose is from the bottom of the box, like, the craft bin. There's just a little red bead, like one of those pony beads. Like, I could have done a nicer one, but I love how it was just like the bottom of he's such a rag doll, like the bottom of the bin rag doll. It just made me happy. And his eyes were supposed to be rivets for Mechagodzilla, but we changed the scale when we played with the chainmail, because using the chainmail, we ended up using those dots for Mechagodzilla's rivets, and we didn't end up using Odin didn't end up using fake beads. I stole these beads from him because I'm like, hey, those look like eyeballs. And I needed them for this project when I was thinking about it, but I stole it before I started working on it. So it didn't technically leave the house because when this challenge started, I already had those pearl stickers. Now his eyeballs are really shiny, and I was going to do like a matte paint, like scratch up the surface, give it a little tooth, and then paint it a flat white. But like when he looks at you and there's like this murderous look in his eyes reflecting back at you, I really like his eyes being shiny. It's just like a little creep factor added. His teeth are like my favorite part. See how they're nice and sharp? And his mouth, his teeth are sewn like right in there. Oh yeah, and his tongue is also 3D. But so how I did this is I made the yellow doll. The head was a little too short. I think the head stops right about where his nose is. And I put a stuffed head over the top of it and stitched it on. You can see the color change, maybe if I come a little bit closer, between his neck and his head. It's hand stitched there. So his skin is, hi everybody, his skin is polar fleece, but his mask where his face is painted, his mouth area and his hands are made with the linings from the wedding dresses that I've worked with. So we have nude, natural, ivory, and I didn't end up using white because I never liked white. But yeah, how I did the face is I kind of cut out the shape, so 2 pieces together, folded the top lip over, and stitched the teeth in there. Now the teeth, they hold their shape. They're nice and sharp and pointy. Like when I made them by using the end of a toothpaste, a tube of toothpaste, and I cut it up so that it was those little sharp teeth, and it is the best. It's like holding the shape. It is staying sharp. It is the best thing for these creepy teeth that I was so shocked. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be harder on that part of it. But there's a little piece of black fabric sewn behind his tongue, so it gives it the cartoon mouth. He looked close. He has little tiny ears. I sewed on the ears on there. And you can see that his face has some shading over the eyeballs and right at the top of his forehead. I used a little eyeshadow brush, and I just took a little brown eyeshadow and went over his eyes and right there to give him those creepy wrinkles. And I feel like it really did add to the creep factor and the crustiness of this ragdoll. His hair. Hi, everybody. I just love how creepy he looks. His hair, I almost left the house. Like, I almost left the house to go get the stuff because I was thinking I wanted to sew together a bunch of teal pom-poms or hot glue them together, or, but I got it in my head that it needed to be teal pom-poms. But then I was like, I'm not leaving the house. That's the whole challenge. I can do this. What do I have? So I had some white sparkly tulle that I painted using, like, the color was Tsunami. It's an outdoor paint that I mixed a little white in. And I just love the color that came out. And that fact that it's all a little bit sparkly. So I took the tulle and I just kind of bunched it and I hand stitched it to his head. And then I stitched it to itself. And it really did, like, this is only tulle. There's nothing else in here. It's just the stitched tulle. And I did a little poof on top. But yeah, I think the hair's my favorite part. It doesn't, the voodoo doll kind of came off on him. There's little feathers in his hair. It doesn't come off. It's not fragile. Like, I'm not worried about, oh no, this is a little rag doll that is very solid, although I may have to fix his nose. What's wrong, Bruno? Why are you crying? Is everything okay? All right. Hands. That's what I forgot. So doing his hands, he has 4 fingers. Oh my gosh, this is like the worst for the lighting. The way I did his hands is I took little squares of fabric about the size of these fireworks, and I drew the hands onto the fabric, and I stitched it on my hand drawn line. So I sewed it first, and then I cut it out. I turned it inside out, and I was going to add wire so that he could hold things, but I chose not to just because I like how wonky his fingers kind of pull. I don't know. They just felt very goofy. And when I was stitching his hair, he kept grabbing my needle and thread and biting it because it kept getting stuck on his teeth and on his hands. And I was just laughing because he fought me on every stitch. But he wanted his hair to look nice. It was funny. It was definitely enjoyable to sew. And then, like, when I packed inside of his Barbie box, I just put this in there today, and I think this poor little guy doesn't want to stay in the Krusty box, so this voodoo doll doesn't need to. But he has his little firecrackers, and then I absolutely love this knife. Isn't this the most adorable little lettuce knife? It actually does cut. It's pretty darn sharp for a plastic knife. But it's like his perfect size and scale. Look at that. And it's like fits in his little hands. So he could be like, wah, wah, you know. But that feather's going everywhere. So that was make a Christmas present that just doesn't suck, but don't leave the house challenge. If you got that for Christmas, would you be upset and been like, what? You made me a crappy homemade gift? Or would you have been like, that's awesome? I got positive reviews. The person whose present this was very much liked it. And yeah. Okay. Dan does junk. This setup behind you looks great, by the way. Thank you. I kind of tried today. I'm still working on it. I still am. But I have stuffs. I had a light. Toby knocked it over and kicked it because this was lit up earlier. But slowly working on it. I like poured 12 cherries in here and they're all at the bottom. Danda's junk. That's a good challenge idea. Craft something out of scrap found items. I have a box full of foam scraps and other materials. Potential video idea. We'll see. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I feel like I should have filmed it, but I just didn't want it leaking. Making this one. I might do it in a future video, but the don't leave the house challenge, make a Christmas present. And I don't know. I feel like I would spend money to make this guy to give it to for a Christmas present. There's definitely things that I would do different making a second one. I would probably change up the color slightly. Maybe his pants a slightly different color. Maybe his shirt. His skin tone, I might have gone for a more lemony yellow as opposed to a soft yellow. But it's what I had. I do like red velvet. I think it's poppin'. I would definitely keep that. And I really liked the hair because I thought it wasn't going to be that great. But then I think it turned out better than the pom-pom idea because I almost broke down and went to the store. Because I was like, oh, I'll just do one craft trip. Shh, it'll be a secret. But I get so in my head, I'm like, no, it has to be homemade. And I'm not leaving the house. So, but yes. Bernie Davis, clever and resourceful. Nice. Well, thank you. Oh, so evil. Right, he is nice and evil. Brainy Davis, sometimes the handmade stuff is better than the store-bought things. Yes, but sometimes the store-bought things are significantly easier than the handmade things. No, I get it. Yeah. Christmas presents can be difficult because you want people to... A lot of grown-ups can just buy things that they want at this point, or, if they need something, and it's like you want to give them something that's enjoyable, a treat, something special, something nice. And you know what I mean? I am so sorry. We are live and my phone is just going ding, 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 ding. But I'm not going to complain. Those are good dings. Okay. Goose. Welcome, Goose. I haven't seen you before. What would you recommend to make with a skein or two of couch quality harvested leather? Green in particular. Ooh, I would do Renaissance vests, like pirate jack vests, like 100%, because that's a big piece if it's green. I'm thinking Robin Hood kind of style, like that. Yeah, I would kind of start with that because I don't know. I like the Jolly Green Giant Legend of Zelda tunics kind of a thing. because a couch has enough leather for a tunic. But then you could also go, I really like couch leather because it's sewable. You can put it through a sewing machine and it's not going to break your sewing machine. I didn't even use any special needles to sew it. Like they make little triangle leather needles, but couch leather, I just sew it with regular universal needles and they're just fine. I just up the stitch length. But green leather, that's fine because you can also do leaves. You can do like poison ivy. You can do all sorts of fun things. That's exciting. Gloomy days. I think it would be amazing gift, but I'd also be scared of it at night. I know. I think that's why there is the fight back and forth between like who keeps setting it to good, who keeps setting it to evil. Hi, Toby. Yeah, but you know, who wouldn't feel comfortable with this guy hanging out? No, I don't know. It makes me laugh. He has a box. You know, he's safe now, right? Bernie Davis, a pale daffodil would be a good skin tone for Krusty. I agree, because he has his face is painted. That's why I did the natural for his face, because it's supposed to be white paint over yellow, so that's why I chose the color I chose. But his actual skin tone, I would have done a brighter yellow for sure. Toby, what are you digging in? Hi, Toby. You want to come say hi? Is that what's going on? Where'd Spooky go? Bruno, Toby. I don't see Spooky, but Spooky likes to hide in the shadows, so. Anyways, you guys can see him in the mirror. Goose says, great suggestions. We happen to have a bunch of couch leather on hand. Robin Hood style vest would be a great addition. Yeah, I really like couch leather. So getting big pieces of leather in any kind of a regular shape, like rectangles, or it doesn't come off of a bolt. It really doesn't. It usually comes in a hide, the shape of an animal, and towards the center of the hide is the thicker stuff. Towards the edges, you'd have more thinner stuff, depending on how. Toby, what are you chewing on? Stop it. I'm talking here. Thank you. But it's different thicknesses throughout the hide. It's different. There's flaws on it there that you have to work around. So, like, just having an eye to cut out pattern pieces so that they'll match, line up, have the same colors. It takes a lot of skill, but when you have a couch, it's already been done. Somebody's already matched the colors, made sure they were all the same thicknesses, made them all line up the right way, all the really weird, tricky things that you don't really know about when you're sewing leather until you kind of know. You don't have to stress out about using a harvested couch because you have large rectangular sheets that have the same width, that are color matched. And if they're sewn together, those seams are already color matched. So you could put patterns on the same pieces that were sewn together. So yes, I definitely like using secondhand leathers and furs. Gloomy days. Welcome, gloomy days. I think it's very creative and spooky. Just make sure to remember to turn them to good at night. And also says, I think the shiny eyes are pretty cool. Yeah, like when I put them on, I was like, I know that if I did them not shiny, it would be correct. Toby, what are you eating? What is over there that you and Bruno can't leave alone? I will have to go investigate. or maybe they just want attention. But as soon as I stuck them on just to kind of see if I was going to like them, they just stared back at me nice and creepily, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the victims could see I don't know. It just felt nice and creepy, so I went with it. Yeah, did I leave out any part of him? The face part was natural. I folded that over. He has little ears, little eyes. Yeah, okay. So today I was originally planning on doing the alterations for the bridesmaid dress. I'm going to do that tomorrow when I have a sewing machine. And I think I'm going to reach out to a couple of my friends and see if they can find pictures of old bridesmaid photos, because let me see. I've been a bridesmaid quite a few times. I have some good friends. And oh my gosh. My least favorite one was lavender. My most favorite one was orange. Actually, okay, I liked both of those, but I've had some crazy bridesmaid dresses. My best friend, she wanted fall colors and wanted orange, and all of us ladies looked like pumpkins in a pumpkin patch, but I honestly absolutely loved and adored my dress that I wore. We could choose any style we wanted. It just had to be orange, and it had to cover our shoulders. I found this great 1960s Jackie O style sheath dress. It had a beaded orange top that was kind of a longer umpire, so it wasn't just under the bust, it was like a few inches below the bust, but it wasn't at the natural waistline. Beaded top with a chiffon straight tailored skirt. It looked really, I loved it. It was a great orange dress, and I made this little jacket to make it so that the sleeves were there. And yeah, everybody had to have their dresses handmade or custom made and ordered, because orange isn't the most popular of colors. And all the other bridesmaids had theirs out of the same orange satin. And I was a maid of honor, so the fact that I had a different texture didn't end up being an issue. But it was orange satin. Orange satin. Yes. The things we do for our friends. Bernie Davis didn't have a matching pillbox hat. No hats. I think I just wore my hair down. I didn't do jack or to it. It was a nice day. I had an enjoyable time at her wedding, and she was very happy. I'm definitely going to reach out and see if I can get some of those photos. I don't know if I can get the lavender dress. That was my least favorite of them. And honestly, there was nothing wrong with the dress. It was a stereotypical bridesmaid dress with cap t-shirt sleeves. It was almost this shade of lavender, slightly lighter, chiffon like the orange dress, and kind of a similar silhouette with a little beaded, but it just couldn't lift my arms past here. Like, I could not move in that thing. It was, I don't know. It felt like definitely felt like a bridesmaid in that dress. Hi, Bruno. What are you doing? Like, I'm not paying attention to you. Is that what's going on? But yes. So I will see. I'll reach out to my friends and see if I can get some of those old pictures, because that'd be hilarious to show y'all. But I'm gonna help my friend with her bridesmaid dress for this wedding coming up. It's a big deal. we look at those, like when we go back and look at our friends' wedding photos, especially if they get them printed up when they first move in, and those are the nicest pictures they have in their house, and it's all lined up, and you're just like, oh, geez, I look like a pumpkin. But no, I really did like my orange dress. That one is by far my favorite bridesmaid dress that I wore. Brianna, if you ever see this, love you. Um, Bruno crossplay idea, Scrappy Doo. Oh my gosh, that guy's creepy. But yes, he totally could be a Scrappy Doo. I wanted to make him a foam antler so he could be that pathetic dog from the Grinch. Yes, you would make a cute Max. I think you make a very cute Max. Toby's gonna get jealous. But yes, so that's my plan tomorrow. We will go through the bridesmaid dresses. And then I wanted to let you guys know, I'm going to put you down so I can actually talk without being distracted. So, my schedule is changing a bit. I'm about to work on this 5-week project coming up. Things are a little weird, but I have a few side quests. This bridesmaid dress is one of them. Another side quest is a commission piece that I am doing with one of my friends, Raul Gonzo, and it is a avant-garde high fashion look that's going to be a little bit on the extreme side. And I got permission to share the process of me getting the sketch, patterning it out, creating it, up until then I'm going to send it off to Raul, where he's then going to photograph it in some weird, crazy environment that he's been thinking about. So I was going to take you guys on that journey with me as I do a few different side quests. I may be bouncing around a little bit, but I figured as I'm working on these projects that I will go live and live stream as I'm doing them to kind of share with you that behind the scenes insight into some of the random, best word to describe it, side quests that I've been doing. Yeah. There's 2 others, but I don't want to just get into that yet. But I did want to do this basic alteration to kind of walk you guys through, those problems that we hit, and then fitting issues, that kind of stuff. And then also I wanted to walk you guys through a completely abstract garment. Yeah, this one's a little on the wacky side. It's not the most practical by any means, and it's more of a cone skirt than a circle skirt, and I'm not going to be able to describe it in any way that you guys would be able to see it. So I'll have to get a way to share the sketch with you guys later. But yes. Bernie Davis says, my partner and I agreed to have our future wedding guests wear blue and purple as part of our theme. Blue and purple is part of our theme. Oh, nice. Yeah. In all reality, I will wear anything for my BFFs. Like, you want me to show up in orange, blue, green, black, plastic bag, I will do it. Fashion challenge accepted. Now we're going to have photographs and proofs forever. Bring it on. Let's do it. But, yeah. Anyways, I like weird fashion challenges. I think that's all I have for tonight. I'm ready to call it a night. I really am. I was expecting to sew today, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't. I hope you guys don't mind that I went through my Krusty Clown Ragdoll Don't Leave My House challenge. Yay, Christmas presents. think next year I want to attempt a Coraline doll. Maybe not even wait till next year. I might just attempt a Coraline doll. This one was so much fun. I have ideas. Yes. So I think that's all I have. So wrapping it up, thank you guys for joining me. I am Felicia. This has been behind the scenes of making my Krusty doll. I don't know. Thank you for joining me. Welcome, and I will see you tomorrow working on the bridesmaid dress. So good night. Let me read these last couple comments and then I'll say bye-bye. Rainy Day says, it's nice just to catch up. It's been good hearing from you. Oh, yeah. The live stream that I was supposed to go on last Sunday with Odin didn't end up happening. So we're going to try for this Sunday. Things have flooded. Weather was crazy. He works for the Department of Water Resources and was sent out to the flooded area. He's been sharing pictures of that over on his private Discord. It's fascinating. It's crazy, but things have calmed down enough that we're going to try again for this Sunday. Yeah, but we haven't streamed since last year. We'll see if we can get going again. It's just 2023 has just started off interesting. Not gonna lie. Gloomy Day says, good night. I really liked your Krusty doll and I'm excited to see future projects of yours. Thank you. And Ace got here just in time to say goodbye, LOL. Well, thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be back tomorrow, probably evening time again. Yeah, probably evening time. I'm not going to stress out trying to get out or do it earlier, but yeah, tomorrow, fashion emergency dress alteration. So thank you. Till next time.